Victory. Barrett will have to look long and hard at their defensive problems.
Virtually up, a point will make sure Gillingham need a win, but Bury's defeat at Darlington means any of the sides in the top six could still make that third automatic place.
Darlington are a step nearer automatic promotion to the second division. Last night's win at promotion rivals Hereford guaranteed them at least a playoff place. But York City still aren't certain of avoiding relegation.
With so much at stake, this match attracted Hereford's biggest crowd of the season, and almost 5,500 treated to a stunning goal. Matt Carmichael secured the 3 points for Darlington just before half-time. The former soldier, signed from Doncaster on a free transfer, rifled his shot past a helpless keeper. The Quakers could march into the top three against Chester on Saturday.
Darlington could be joining the region's football championship and promotion party. Last night's 1-0 win, Hereford in the third division, has secured their place in the playoff finals and put automatic promotion well within their grasp. Darlington are in fourth place, just 1 point behind Bury, who occupy the third promotion spot. With 2 games left, it's still possible for Darlington to grab second place. Well, last night, just 1 goal was needed to see off the challenge of Hereford, and a great strike was too from Matt Carmichael.
Third place in Division 3. Robbie Blake's 10th goal of the season opened the scoring a minute into the second half. Chester equalised, but Robbie Painter's 35-yard effort over the keeper put the Quakers front. And Gary Bannister completed the scoring after Mattie Appleby's penalty had been saved in the final match. Darlington's final game is at Scunthorpe next week. If they win that one, Jim Platt's side will definitely be promoted to the second division.
Yes, it's in our hands now, and we're quite happy about that. We needed Bury to at least get a draw today, and they drew, so we know if we go and beat Scunthorpe, we're automatically up, and that's good.
Celebrations because Darlington moved into third place in Division 3 at the weekend, and Jim Platt on course for automatic promotion. The Feetham's faithful flowed on after yesterday's match against Chester. They wanted to salute their Quakers heroes. Jim Platt's side marked their last home match of the season with another convincing win against promotion rivals. A 10th goal of the campaign for Robbie Blake had set them on their way to victory. That was a minute into the second half, and although Stuart Rimmer briefly levelled the scores for Chester, Darlington were always the stronger side and always seemed in control. Produced a moment worth of what happened next clip. Robbie Painter kept his head to leave Stuart holding in his hands. Quick thinking by the Darlington striker, and a first-time effort from all of 35 yards out put his side back in front. Jim Platt's nomination for the North East Player of the Year awards his defender Mattie Appleby. He's likely to move on to a bigger club in the close season, but he had a chance to get on the score sheet when Spencer Whelan's handball was penalised by the referee towards the end. Appleby's spot kick was saved though, but Gary Bannister got the final touch as his teammates raced in to wrap up the points. 3-1 was the final score, and with promotion rivals Bury only managing a draw at Exeter, Darlington move into the final automatic promotion. Jim Platt's side have 1 match left away at Scunthorpe. If they win that, they'll definitely be in Division 2.
The other battling for promotion.
Jim Platt's Darlington side were in confident mood when they arrived at Scunthorpe yesterday. They knew a victory and 3 points would be enough to guarantee second division football for the club next season. Their away form had served them well for the last 9 months. They'd only lost once on their travels. But Scunthorpe were to prove a big handful. John Ayre's second goal of the match before half-time gave the Quakers a mountain to climb. Platt could see automatic promotion slipping away, but when Robbie Painter went down in the box, they had a penalty and a lifeline. The former Sunderland boss Mick Buxton couldn't bear to watch as Mattie Appleby pulled one back against his Scunthorpe side. The travelling fans from Darlington now sensed that they had a real chance, and when Robbie Blake, who's emerged from the shadows this season, got on the end of the looping header to nudge it over the line, it was all to play for at 2-2. But that man John Ayre popped up again to spoil the party. His run set up Andy McFarlane for Scunthorpe's third, and the Quakers had it all to do again. But they did just that, racing up to the other end to equalise within seconds. Mark Barnard with the header. Jim Platt urges his men to go for the winner, and they almost get it in spectacular style. Robbie Blake's volley just over the bar. At the end, there was devastation all round, but they've still got the playoffs to go for. They take on Hereford away next Sunday in the first leg of the semi-finals.
tough to lift them because they are down, because they've given their all. But Wembley's a big goal. Most of them haven't played at Wembley. Gary Bannister's probably the only one. And it's a hell of a place to play, and it's a big goal to aim for now.
Riding on the last Saturday of the football season this afternoon. We're going to start with Darlington's quest from promotion from the 3rd Division. Victory down at Scunthorpe would have done it for the Quakers, and the commentator at Glanford Park is Roger TAMES.
So a first chance then for Scunthorpe to really test Paul Newell and the Darlington goal. Quakers with plenty of men in the wall, not short. It's a goal! Scunthorpe have scored through John Eyre. A real setback for the Quakers, less than 4 minutes gone. Painter's little touch there leaves Blake the lone front runner. Closes down on Alan Nill, but no pressure really there, but it was given away, and Bannister couldn't finish it off. Wilson the fullback again. And Chris Hope here had a lot of space to tee up his cross. Oh, that was a marvellous effort there from Phil Clarkson, who came in at high speed. Shaw cut out quite comfortably by Clarkson. Eyre finds his way. Clarkson is going through the middle, and it's a second for Eyre, a second for Scunthorpe, and Darlington are really losing their way now. Crosby forward again. Painter will give it a chase. Painter's got the pace and the determination, and they've got a penalty. Painter was prepared to chase it. The defender was Russell Bradley, who careered into him. The referee pointed to the penalty spot. Matty Appleby then with the spot kick. No mistake at all. It's 2-1. Quakers now keep their automatic promotion hopes alive. Real pressure here from Darlington then. Still they're pushing forward. That's Anthony Cars with the header back in. It's falling in there, and Blake is in there, and that's 2-2. Robbie Blake coming in on the far post there. He wasn't picked up. Cars got it back into the middle. Just bobbled that time, and Shaw couldn't hit it cleanly enough. Flags down, and here's Eyre, who got the first two, homing in for a third. McFarlane, it's 3-2 Scunthorpe, and it's another body blow for Darlington. Really looking for miracles now, the Quakers. They need 2 goals to make it certain. Oh, there's one of them. Put in there from the far post by Mark Bernard, the left back, and it's 3-3 now. What an astonishing game, and certainly the Quakers are going to fight all the way.
But sadly it finished 3-3. That means that the top of the 3rd Division looks like this. Darlington just miss out on automatic promotion. They finish in 5th place, which means they're away to Hereford next Sunday in the playoff semi-final. The return at Feetham's on Wednesday the 15th.
Darlington are just 90 minutes away from their first ever appearance at Wembley. They're favourites to make it through to the 3rd Division playoff final at the famous old stadium after beating Hereford yesterday.
There were more than 6,500 fans at Hereford's Edgar Street ground yesterday for the first leg of the semi-final playoff. And home advantage definitely paid off early on because Hereford were in front after just a couple of minutes. Dean Smith with a sharp header from the free kick. But Darlington, who've only lost once away from home all season, soon got into their stride and were back on level terms after this looping header from Sean Gregan fell into the far corner of the net. That's his first goal of the season, and it couldn't have been better timed. Robbie Blake's 12th of the campaign wasn't all that bad either. He was on the end of Mark Barnard's ball in and made the finish look so easy. Darlington 2-1 in front before the break. It wasn't all plain sailing from then on in though, but come the final whistle, Darlington had that 1-goal lead to take back to Feetham's on Wednesday night. Avoid defeat or even lose just 1-0 after extra time, and the fans will have a day to remember at Wembley, and hopefully they'll be watching 2nd Division football next season.
That's the good. Often flirted with extinction, but on Wednesday night, Darlington Football Club could be on their way to Wembley for the first time in their history. Yesterday's 2-1 win at Hereford in the first leg of their playoff semi-final makes them favourites to get through. Success in the final against either Plymouth or Colchester would mean Division 2 status next season and a big boost to the bank balance. For a side which had already beaten Hereford twice in the league and only just missed out on automatic promotion, the start couldn't have been worse. Hereford were in the lead after just 2 minutes. But Darlington have only lost once all season away from home and soon powered back into the game through Sean Gregan in the 27th minute. Then Robbie Blake grabbed the lead 10 minutes later to make it 2-1 to Darlington and put them just one game away from a Wembley final.
Hereford will be a very difficult match. It was on Sunday. They're a big, tall, physical team. Most of their threat comes from dead ball situations, long throw and corners, so they're going to get a few of them. If we can get it down and play football, I'm sure we'll get through. But the players are near to Wembley now, and although I don't like to think about it, they're not that far away, and you can't stop them from thinking about it. And let's face it, most of them will never get a better opportunity than this one.
I mean, on the positive side, it's every incentive they need, isn't it? Wembley and second division.
Yeah, Wembley is probably a bigger incentive than second division, believe it or not, because they won't have a better opportunity of going there. Once we get to Wembley, if we do, then we'll take it from there. It'll be a different match.
It'll be busier than ever behind the scenes at Feetham's now. General Manager Steve Morgan estimates a Wembley appearance could earn the club around £200,000, including commercial spin-offs.
The playoff gate is all split, so that goes down very well. And as you say, 25% of the gate. Yeah, I would hope, with a bit of commercial, 200,000 is not an unrealistic proposition. We've been working very hard to ensure that once we get where we want to be on Wednesday night, it's all systems go Thursday.
I mean, £200,000 to a club like Darlington, that's a massive kickstart for next season, isn't it?
Well, it'll certainly put a nice end to this season. You know, we've got to just finish our obligations, but yes, it's a tremendous boost for us.
Wednesday's home leg should be a sellout of almost 7,000. Tomorrow morning, 1,300 extra tickets returned from Hereford go on sale.
It's time for football now, and Darlington are trying to make history in just over an hour. The Quakers are 90 minutes away from their first ever Wembley appearance. Tonight they take on Hereford in the second leg of their playoff semi-final. Next stop, the Twin Towers.
It was all hands to the pump at Darlington today. Northumbrian Water have teamed up with the football club to make sure the Feetham's pitch is ready for the last and most important home match of the season. On Sunday, Jim Platt's side came from a goal behind to beat Hereford 2-1 in the away leg of their playoff semi-final. Tonight, they'll be aiming to finish the job at home and then look forward to a trip to Wembley. The pressure's building up for the manager and his team.
Yes, the phone's never stopped. Everybody wants to come and see us, hopefully to get to Wembley, because it would be an absolutely fantastic season for everybody if we do get to Wembley. It's hard not to think about it, but we've still, as you say, 90 minutes to play tonight, or maybe even more, but at least we've got a match to play tonight and try and go through.
With 2 away goals to their credit, Darlington are favourites to reach the final, where they'll be confident of securing promotion to Division 2. Ticket sales for tonight's match have gone well, and it's not just Darlington fans who want to support the Quakers.
I'm delighted to say that there's been quite a few Newcastle, Sunderland and Middlesbrough, but Middlesbrough being a bit nearer in the Jim Platt connection we would expect. We even had a couple of lads from Burnley. So, you know, we're delighted that so many people have come out and supported Darlington. As and when we make it tonight, obviously we'll be appealing for them again to give us that boost at Wembley, because although it's a great occasion, we also want to make it a financially good occasion as well.
With a Wembley final in prospect, nothing can dampen Darlington's spirits, and the fans will no doubt be hoping that their team is on fire against Hereford this evening.
Good luck, the Quakers, we're rooting for you.
There's one remaining issue for the region's clubs. Will Darlington get promotion via the playoffs to Division 2? Well, they're 90 minutes away from the playoff final at Wembley and have a great chance of getting through. Steve Sutton is at Feetham's in Darlington for tonight's second leg against Hereford. Steve.
Thanks, Mike. Yes, the biggest night so far, but as you say, that would be surpassed should Darlington get to Wembley. They do hold the upper hand. They beat Hereford 2-1 in the first leg on Sunday, and of course they've beaten them twice in the league already. Naturally, with that Wembley appearance on the horizon, the town has gone football crazy. It's a sight rarely, if ever, seen at Feetham's, but the sold-out signs went up early this afternoon when the last ticket was sold. That means there'll be just under 7,000 in the ground. Darlington launched their new strip today, that too, all but sold out.
The opportunity that the team have now created for us commercially, we can't afford to miss. I don't think we have missed. As you know, we even pulled 1,200 tickets back from Hereford when it was obvious they weren't going to sell them. And I'm pleased to say that we sold the last minute about 2 o'clock this afternoon. So it's a good time for the club, and as you say, it doesn't happen very often. So we'll make hay while the sun shines and hopefully, as I say, achieve the dream of a Wembley visit. But that's 90 minutes away as we speak.
At stake for the players is a place in the third division playoff final at Wembley. For most of them, a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. A chance not to be missed too for the fans.
I just want to get to Wembley because it's just my life's dream to just see Darlington play at Wembley. I've supported them all my life and that. And it's just one thing that I've always wanted to see.
You're in no doubt you'll get there?
Oh no, definitely tonight. 2-0. Robbie Blake tonight, definitely again.
Excuse me fellas, from BBC.
Yeah.
What do you reckon about the match tonight?
No problem. 2-0, all over Wembley.
There's only one United.
Yeah?
That's Hereford United, of course, man.
So you couldn't support the other black and whites?
Afraid so.
The only white.
You picked the wrong one.
Right, joining me now is Jim Platt, the Darlington manager. Jim, not far off now, possibly 90 minutes, barring extra time, heaven forbid, and if it all goes well, the Wembley appearance.
Yes, we're not far away now. Everybody's a little bit nervous, but we're looking forward to it, and hopefully we'll get the right result.
You've beaten them 3 times this season, but I mean, obviously tonight is the most important. Those 3 really count for nothing, do they?
No, it's another match. We have to beat them 4 times, which is a tall order to beat somebody 4 times, but I'm sure we can do it.
How are the lads feeling?
A little bit nervous. I see them a little bit uptight. Most of my lads are young lads, but they've got young legs as well, so we'll be going at the end.
They're obviously going to be excited about the prospect of Wembley. You can't tell them to forget that, can you?
No, I'm telling them all week to think about Wembley because that's our target. It's difficult not to think about it, but we have to win tonight first of all.
You've played there, Jim. What's it like?
Lovely. I mean, that's a big aim, and I hope for their sake they can do it.
Well, Jim, let's hope so. It'll be a great boost for the town and a great boost for the club.
Absolutely.
Thanks a lot for joining us. Mike, back to you in the...
are going to Wembley for the first time in the club's history. They've beaten Hereford in the playoff semi-final tonight and meet Plymouth in the battle for Division 2.
Darlington had a 1-goal advantage going into the second leg at Feetham's, but that was almost wiped out after just 62 seconds. Gary Bannister coming to the rescue on the Quakers' line. They took control after 17 minutes, though, and it was player-coach Bannister at the heart of the action again. He smashed the volley, and somehow it went in off Robbie Painter to make it 1-0 and 3-1 on aggregate. It only took them 2 minutes of the second half to put the semi-final beyond any doubt. Robbie Blake was brought down on the very corner of the box, and referee David Allison pointed to the spot. Mattie Appleby stepped up to take the kick, and he put it right in the corner to make it 2-0 and 4-1 on aggregate. Hereford did pull one back after 65 minutes from the corner. Skipper Tony James with the final touch right in front of goal, but it was never going to be enough. Darlington win 4-2 on aggregate. They're at Wembley.
It went on sale today for Darlington's historic first ever trip to Wembley a week on Saturday. The club's been given 20,000 tickets and the sales office will stay open all weekend to cope with the expected demand. Last night they beat Hereford in the second leg of their third division playoff semi-final. They'll meet Plymouth in the Wembley final with promotion to Division 2, the prize for the winners. Second division might still be one game away, but that wasn't going to stop the celebrations last night as Darlington reached Wembley for the first time in their history. They'd cruised past Hereford by 2-1 to set up a playoff final against Plymouth. But it very nearly all went wrong as Hereford, 2-1 down from the first leg of the semi-final, nearly scored in the opening minute. But Darlington steadied their nerves, and when Gary Bannister's volley was turned in by Robbie Painter, they were already down Wembley way. The second half penalty from Mattie Appleby sealed it, and although Hereford pulled one back, the party was underway.
For me to come from Barnet Reserves in January to Darlington to Wembley, it's brilliant, unbelievable, can't believe it, just loving every minute of it.
Oh, unbelievable, what a feeling. First chance to get to Wembley.
Right, very good, put that gut away.
can't believe it.
I've never been to Wembley. I've never watched the game or nothing. I've always said I'll never go there until I play there. My dreams come true. Superb.
I'm very pleased with the players. I really desperately wanted to see them go through because they've had a marvellous season. A lot of young lads, 19, 20-year-olds. I was just hoping they wouldn't let themselves down because I know now they'll go and enjoy themselves at Wembley.
More than 6,500 fans turned up to cheer their heroes. Now they can get ready for their big day out. A civic reception is already being planned for the club, win or lose at Wembley.
Wembley fever is taking hold in Darlington tonight after one of the biggest games in the history of the town's football club. The Quakers have made it through to the third division playoff final at the National Stadium in 10 days' time. It's their first big day out at the home of English football.
Tickets for the big match against Plymouth, which will decide who's promoted to the second division, went on sale this morning. The demand is expected to be huge. The club's never been to the Twin Towers before, but they have got their own version at the front gates of Feetham's. Last night, more than 6,500 fans, by far and away the biggest crowd of the season, packed into the ground to watch their side make history. And they didn't have to wait too long for Darlington to extend their one-goal advantage from the first leg. Robbie Painter turned Gary Bannister's volley into the Hereford net after 17 minutes. A different angle shows that Painter didn't know much about his 9th goal of the season, but they all count. The game was put well and truly beyond Hereford's reach just after half-time, when Robbie Blake went down inside the edge of the box, and the referee, David Allison, pointed to the penalty spot. Mattie Appleby, who's out of contract at the end of the season, stepped up to take the kick, and that was it. It was all over. They could book their trip to Wembley. Hereford, who were reduced to 10 men before the end, did get a consolation goal from skipper Tony James, but they were never really in it. It finished 4-2 on aggregate, and Darlington are organising a big day out.
It's an occasion that thought would never happen. It may never happen again in my lifetime. So it's marvellous, marvellous occasion.
It's great for the North East. Brilliant. Jim Platt's done well since he came here. And I'm glad I'm going down to Wembley.
Great, another North East team going up the league, hopefully, and a couple of Newcastle supporter, Borough supporter, going down to support the North East, basically.
I don't know if I'm going to Wembley yet because my girlfriend's pregnant, you see, and she's due on the day they go to Wembley. So, a bit unfortunately, I don't think I'll be going.
Well, let's hope it's a double celebration for that young couple. It's going to be a great occasion for fans and players alike. It's the stuff that dreams are made of.
It's going to be a great day. I think, well, everybody's looking forward to it.
You've never even been to Wembley to watch a game, have you?
No, never been there. I've always said I'd go there when I played there. My dreams come true, and I'm just going to savour and lap up every minute of it.
Mattie Appleby is just one of several players who've been motivated to better things this season by manager Jim Platt. He hopes all the North East gets behind his side at Wembley.
We fancy our chances against most teams, and at Wembley and a good surface, and we play football, we would fancy our chances again.
Tremendous support down here tonight, and you're going to take an awful lot of people to Wembley with you.
I hope so. I hope Middlesbrough fans remember me there, Newcastle fans, Sunderland fans come along, and I'm sure they will, because the North East people stick together.
Great news there for Darlow, but
are getting ready for the biggest match in their history. Tomorrow the Quakers are in the final of the third division playoffs. Ian Payne has spent the day with the team as they prepared for their first appearance at Wembley.
Darlington aren't exactly used to the five-star treatment, so they've been enjoying themselves in the build-up to the big match. Silver service? Well, not quite. Hopefully they'll be taking their own piece of silverware back with them. For many, tomorrow will be a first trip to Wembley. The manager, of course, has been there before. Jim Platt's international career took him to the Twin Towers, and he knows what's in store for his players.
All week I've been saying, have a good week, enjoy the press and everybody. Look forward to Wembley, but after tonight's over, we'll be concentrating on winning the match.
This is the famous side that will greet Darlington and their supporters tomorrow. Who would have thought 12 months ago, struggling towards the wrong end of Division 3, that Darlington would be challenging for silverware and, of course, promotion here at the home of English football. Some light training this morning was just to remind the players exactly why they're here. There's a job to be done tomorrow, and they'll be relying on the experience of player coach Gary Bannister. He's the only team member to have played at Wembley, a loser's medal with Queen's Park Rangers in the Milk Cup final against Oxford.
I don't look back on that too often, but the lads have been asking me what it's like, and you know, I've been telling them it's going to be a big occasion for them, and just to enjoy it before the game, because you know